PNR Networks is a member of Patreon. Show your love for our shows by joining our ongoing fundraising campaign and get some fantastic perks in return. Check it out and become a Patreon sponsor. You can sign up at patreon.com, patreon.com/PNR Networks. And thanks for your support.
This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
It's Kim versus TC in the battle of the lists.
My list is better.
My list is better.
My list is better.
No, it's not. My list is better.
Kim or TC, who has the better list? From Subject Cinema, this is Front Row 5 and 10 with Kim Brown and TC Kirkham.
Hey everybody, welcome to another week here on Front Row 5 and 10, brought to you by the good people that bring you Subject Cinema. That would be me and him, the me being Kim Brown.
And the him being TC Kirkham. Hello, folks.
Hey.
It's another week of lists on Front Row 5 and 10.
Yes.
We'd love it if you would drop us a line and give us your ideas for lists. We've done one where we gave away a prize.
Yes.
Got the name on the site, got the name and everything. So you can do that too, Front Row at PNRNetworks.com or Subject Cinema at PNRNetworks.com.
And definitely send us any lists you want about any subject you want, with the exception of sports, because neither of us watch.
I watch extreme sports, but not enough of the other things. And no porn. Just saying.
No.
Family-friendly show.
What kind of a girl do you think I am?
You know, we're not going to do our top 10 favorite porn stars or something, okay?
Again, what kind of a girl do you think I... Never mind. Oh, I forgot. You live with me. Anyway, never mind. Moving forward, we're over here now, and you picked this list.
I did.
So, yes.
And this is going to be a little bit weird because I think we both interpreted it a little bit differently, but we'll find out. Our top 10 favorite internet personalities.
Yes. So, you picked it, you explain it.
That's our top 10 favorite internet personalities.
That's
That's pretty much explanatory, don't you think?
Wow.
People that do things on the internet that we're big fans of and that we like.
Right.
Not sites. These are personalities.
Well,
although they don't have to be human.
Obviously, at least in one of my cases, yeah. Well, since it was your list, I'm starting.
Yes.
My number 10, I would also like to say, honorable mention...
We're militant there, aren't we?
Yes, I am. Honorable mention to KJ and Jeff at Great Wrestling Radio. You guys are fantastic. But they get an honorable mention because they're awesome. And there's kabillion sites out there, but I wanted to say hi to them because they're great. What?
Nothing.
Anyway. My number 10 is... a couple that do these amazing videos. They're called Screen Team. They are a real-life couple. Their names are Angie and Chad. And they do all kinds of videos that are all over YouTube, and they've got their own channel, and they're really, really funny. They're usually doing filks, filk songs that are, the popular song where you take that song and completely change the lyrics and make it something else but keep the same tune. And their stuff is really, really, really well done and really insanely funny. I want to bring up two videos that they did that I absolutely adore. I figured I'd get one Marvel and one DC because I'm just trying for fairness. Their version of Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars, which is called Ultron Funk, where they're all playing the Avengers. And it's really hilarious. And the song "Look What Joker Made Me Do," which is a parody of Taylor Swift's "Look What You Made Me Do," sung from the point of view of Harley Quinn. These are two videos. I watch these videos. I watch them over and over again because they just pick me up if I'm having a bad day.
Look what you made me do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it that she never takes the blame for herself? She's always casting it on somebody else. You need to calm down. Look what you made me do. This is why I can't stand Taylor Swift. Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it that time? I forgot we were into the hourly let's rag on Taylor Swift,
It's not hourly.
It's his
Maybe
one per
once a day,
it's
but-
his one per list. Hi, Jules. So they're really great, and I think that they're so talented and amazing and awesome, and I can't say enough awesome things about them because they're just fantastic. My number 10, Scream Team.
Okay, I'm unaware of these people. You'll have to show me these people. So
I thought I'd shown you Ultron
I don't think
Funk.
so. No, I don't think so.
Okay,
Maybe so.
okay.
The
First time I watched it, just real quick, the first time I watched it, I made the terrible mistake of watching it while we were in an Uber, and I'm sitting there like, please do not laugh all over the back of this person's Uber, because they'll think you've lost your mind if you're just cackling because this video is so damn funny. So, sorry. Continue.
I have 3 honorable mentions, and they're honorable mentions because they're not people. They're sites.
Okay.
I enjoy the sites, and people are behind them. Yes,
Obviously.
But because they don't so much interact with the site, although one of them does voiceovers, it's not quite the same as the internet personality who I see as somebody on screen or represented to be on screen.
Okay.
So my 3 honorable mentions.
Did you get all that? Because there will be a test.
You're just in fine smart-ass form this evening, aren't you?
I love you too, Pudding.
My honorable mentions are Fred Flicks. Fred does some wonderful stuff. We've had correspondence. He's a very funny dude, and he lives in, I think, North Carolina, maybe South Carolina. I'm sorry, Fred. And does these great TV-oriented lists and stuff, and they're very funny. Freeway Jim, who makes some of the coolest travel videos. He's just got a dashboard. He's got his camera on his dashboard going down up and down the interstates of the country, and I've really enjoyed watching some of those. He puts it to music, has little bloop pop-up video type facts. They're awesome, especially the one to Key West. It's awesome. Driving all the way from Miami. Watch that one. And Theme Park Crazy. Love this site. I'm sorry, I don't remember the gentleman's name, the young gentleman that hosts it. He does appear occasionally in videos where he shoots them at various theme parks, but not enough to make it an actual personality as more of the site. I enjoy watching them, even though sometimes the videos make me sick because they're really too high. And this next one he's got coming out, the 10 most terrifying rides.
Amusement rides,
I'm not looking forward to that. I was just looking at the clips he put up for the poll, and I'm like, oh no. Okay, so those are my honorable mentions. My number 10 probably should be higher because they are pioneers on the internet, and they pioneered the vlog, video blog. But they're very much fun and a lot of fun to watch and how they think, because sometimes they don't think the same way I do and sometimes they do. My number 10 is Hank and John Green. They populate the Vlog Brothers channel. Hank also has his own channel called just simply Hank's Channel on YouTube. For those of you who don't know Hank and John Green, they are brothers, successful authors. Hank owns DFTBA Records, which is also responsible for VidCon, which is one of the biggest video YouTube cons around. John, of course, the best-selling author of many books, including The Fault in Our Stars, Looking for Alaska, Paper Towns, and a whole bunch of other things. And also, for a while, I'm not sure if he's still doing it, he was, the first place we saw him and what drew me to find him elsewhere, he was host of the Mental Floss's List show, which also helped inspire this show. The brothers have commented on so many different things over the years, from global warming to business to politics to fun to food. I was obsessed with finding Tim Tams thanks to Hank Green.
Yeah, thanks, Hank.
and
you still haven't found them, have you?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, no, we did.
We
That's
did
right.
finally find them.
Where did we find them? I forgot.
Stop and Shop or someplace rather.
I found them.
Yeah. You
yes.
did. And I'm like, okay. I just had to try them, and to tell you the truth, I wasn't that impressed.
Because that's all I'm good for.
3 years of looking for them. And
sniffing out cookies. That's what I'm good at.
But I enjoy their commentary. They own a whole series of other channels that are very big hits on YouTube, including Complexly, Crash Course, and a number of other things. And if you've not seen them, you should look into them. Just look them up on the internet. HankandJohn.com, also their website. Hank and John Green, number 10 on my list.
Okay. Number 9 on my list has had a bunch of different people doing the narration at different points. So I'm going to focus on the 2 people we've actually seen on camera the most. So I am getting the
low?
I am getting the dirtiest look, y'all. Right now, I am getting the dirtiest
no, not dirty look. Shocked look.
For serious. So my number 9 is the gents over at List 25. We usually only see the gents. They've had a nice young lady on a couple of times. The 2 people we see the most would be Mike and Tristan. List 25 is a list show where they have all kinds of... You'll get their last
names later.
Yeah, because... Look, I'm lucky I remember my last name most days, okay?
Okay.
So, cram it. They have all kinds of really interesting lists. Some of them are, quite serious. Mm-hmm. Things about earthquakes and death and famine, and those are the ones I don't watch.
I do.
Because I don't need that in my head.
You watch all the spooky ones that I don't like to watch, too.
Yeah, I watch all this. I watch the ones about ghosts and demons and stuff like that. He watches ones about disease and earthquakes and things like that.
We both watch all the general stuff, like the 25 scariest bridges.
Yeah.
Or, we watch those together.
Or the terrible puns.
And they're not always on camera, but they've been on camera enough that we know who they are.
We know who they are. And we feel like they're friends because we've gotten to know them. They talk about their lives. Tristan talks about his cats.
I've
every frigging opportunity.
With Mike a few times over comments that he's made. So.
And that's not a slam, Tristan. I love cats too. And I just had to give a shout out to them anyway because Mike is a Hufflepuff and we Badgers got to stick together. And Tristan is a Ravenclaw in case anybody wants to know.
And Tristan, who is a graduate now, film graduate, makes really great special effects Harry Potter videos.
Yeah, they've done some
crazy really
stuff.
Amazing battles.
It's nuts. Yeah, and if you're looking for an actress, I'm exceedingly cheap.
But you can't get to Florida unless he pays the way.
But I am easy and cheap. I mean,
really
easy to work with. We'll go with that.
He has a girlfriend. Okay,
I know.
All right, just saying.
My number 9, List 25, because those are awesome guys. They do a lot of research, and they're really cool.
We'll talk a little bit more about them
later. And Hufflepuffs rock.
Number 9 on my list, Kim actually turned me on to. And I watched him for the first time, and I got so hooked because it's just so freaky and so awe-inspiring sometimes. Because of what he does. His name is Lord Venhetario, and he is always on screen. He's on YouTube under the Venhetario channel. We'll have links to the YouTube sites and stuff, probably tomorrow or Saturday. He runs the Lord Music Academy in Brazil. We both thought he was from Europe, but he's actually from Brazil. He says his voice is ugly. He was talking for the first time. He usually talks in word bubbles, like Spider-Man used to do on the Electric Company years ago.
Ask your parents.
He broke part of his thumb a couple weeks ago, and he actually did a voiceover.
Yeah, and played piano with one hand.
Yeah, now he's back to both again. It wasn't serious.
Because
thankfully.
He didn't make us feel bad enough the first time because you play so beautifully with two hands.
Piano,
you can play amazingly with one hand.
And he does these lists of piano playing. But he manages most of the time. For number one, he's always scowling at the camera. He points his finger at you like you're doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. And then he plays these pieces while still staring at the camera. Mm-hmm. And the first time I saw them, I freaking busted a gut. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's awesome.
Yes.
He is so funny. Now, he has a couple of other people in some of the other videos. I think the lady is his wife, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. But she's done a couple things with him, and he's had another couple other people do him. But I mean, he's a magnificent artist, and
is.
My God, he's amazing piano player, and just the whole manner he has on screen is hilarious and scary.
He also
He
plays
can play
other...
he can play these really hard pieces
Not even look at the piano.
without even looking at the keyboard. I'm like, how do you do that? I mean, practice, I know. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
And he plays a mean rubber chicken, too.
Yeah, he does. And slide whistle.
Slide whistle.
Yeah. Number 9, Lord Vinhatario from the Vinhatario YouTube channel.
That's great. My number 8 is a person that I am really pissed that I didn't know this channel was out there, because he's been around for quite a bit. About 8 years is as far back as I've been able to find stuff. The name of the channel is Dark Corners of This Sick World.
I know. I love him. He didn't make my list, but I love him.
The gentleman's name that I found on earlier videos, because I went back and looked because I'm nosy like that.
Yeah.
His name is, I hope I said this right, Robin Bales.
Yeah.
I think
That's what it looks like to me, too.
Yeah. Trust me, I tried 12 different ways to say it to make sure I wasn't ruining it that badly. Robin is a really well-learned person when he talks about films and stuff like that. And he's very passionate about films.
Yeah, he is.
And
he does mostly horror films, but there are some other ones in there.
He does other things too. He's
Yeah.
done exploitation films. Some of the really crappy, anti-drug films from the early 30s, when you were doing an anti-drug film, but the Hays Code said you couldn't actually show drugs, show people doing drugs, blah blah blah. Which then you can file that under what's the effing point? Really. I love his style. He's just exceedingly passionate about film and talking about what he likes and what he doesn't like. I mean, granted, there have been a couple of times that I've been like, because there's been a few superhero movie references that I was like, okay, this Shield Maiden.
We don't always agree with him.
This Shield Maiden's a little annoyed right now, but he really is, and he's, like I said, he's very knowledgeable and exceedingly funny. He doesn't talk down to the audience. He's like one of your friends. Mm-hmm. It's like having one of your friends over.
It basically is. Just sitting around shooting the stuff about movies. Yeah,
and he's very, very witty and very funny, and seems like a really decent person. So my number 8, Dark Corners of This Sick World, which is usually in parentheses. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a little bit down, but he's British, so you know.
What's his name again?
Robin Bales.
Yeah, we want to give the person, because that's the personality.
Yes.
Not the site.
Right.
My number 8, I first heard of when he did a TV special on Food Network, and I'm like, I saw the ad for it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It was called Teeny Tiny Thanksgiving. I'm like, what is this? I've never seen this. I went back and fell head over heels in love with the incredible, amazing artistry of Jay Barron. If you've not seen him, he hosts his YouTube channel. It's called Walking with Giants. Walking with Giants, not walking. That sounds like walking in a walk. Walking with Giants. And what he does is he does miniature food, cooking, and he does some other stuff too, but there's also Life of Jay videos where he shows kind of what he does. But his miniature food videos are eye-poppingly fun, in some cases scary, and in other cases absolutely hilarious. He's got this original music behind him, all these great things. He makes these little signs. You never see him on camera on that show.
No.
And
we've seen him on Cooking
You see his
Channel.
hand.
Yeah.
And you see him in these other stuff online, like The Life of Jay. But he's a brilliant artist. I mean, he's an avant-garde guy. He acts, he sculpts, he does video, he does poetry, he does all kinds of things. He's only 24. I mean, he's got a long time to be around. His artistry has included making, spaghetti and meatballs, doing omelets, really expensive, like a whole Thanksgiving dinner, which is what he did on the Food Network special, and it's all dollhouse sized.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Smaller than dollhouse sized.
And it's all edible.
Yeah.
which is even more important.
This guy would be an amazing caterer if Ant-Man and the Wasp ever get married.
I love Jay. He's awesome. He's been off. He took a hiatus and has just recently started loading new videos. And I'm glad to see him back because he's just so much fun. And I'm never anything except in awe of what he does. Number 8, Jay Barron from Walking with Giants on YouTube.
Okay. Number 7 on my list. I have to admit, I don't know this gentleman's, I don't want to give this gentleman's true name because I'm going by what he goes by online.
That's fine.
So that's just saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I have mentioned before that I am a person that is a voracious reader, and one of the things that I love to read is fanfic or fan fiction.
Okay.
Fan fiction can be anything. It can be original works. It could be based on movies, TV, comic books, whatever you want. And there's a lot of fanfic out there. Some of it is good, and some of it is written by people who try very hard.
Dr. Tinker.
Anyway, and then you have some
That's
people.
Years ago, sorry.
And then you have some people whose fic falls into the category of the second I see they've got new stuff, I have to read it right effing now because they do amazing work. The person I'm talking about, his name online is Rogue Fan KC, is what he goes by. Mm-hmm. And I found his work on fanfiction.net, and he has a lot of work out there that's all different stuff, all different, genres. And the ones that I fell in love with were ones that were a crossover between the Marvel movie universe and the BBC's Sherlock. Because as it turns out in this universe, Captain America, aka Steve Rogers, and John Watson get along really well. They're like really great buddies. Bucky Barnes and Sherlock Holmes are not. At all. Underline that.
Was this before Benedict and Martin joined the Marvel
Actually,
Universe?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's when he started writing it. Mm-hmm. His work it's funny, it's charming. He wrote one thing, one of his works ended on a cliffhanger that I was literally sitting there going, what? Oh no, you can't end this here. No! He's just really, really great and amazing, and I love his work, and I've talked about it before on my own show, but definitely please go check out Rogue Fan KC because he's super insanely talented, and send him some love.
Okay.
That's it.
My number 7 is somebody that I love to watch, and it's actually someone's. There's one person in charge. Kim sometimes goes nuts with it, but I enjoy it immensely. The specialty of their specialty is taking hit songs and molding them into a new style that you don't expect. Number 7 is Scott Bradley and Postmodern Jukebox. We've talked about them before, and they are Scott does most of the arrangements. Some of the stuff they do is killingly funny. Some of it is really out there, and some of it is like, oh God, why are you doing this to this song? But they're all done with such brilliance and determination. They have a number of guest singers in doing different stuff, and they have a number of different musicians. Scott's the piano player, and he's the one that's there and everything. I love a lot of the stuff that they've done. They've done some completely off-the-wall takes on stuff from time to time. I think my favorite recently, and Kim will agree with this, was the 40s chanteuse arrangement of Pinky and the Brain.
Yes.
Which also featured a guest appearance by Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
It
we're
was
not worthy.
Hilarious. Mm-hmm. And she's singing it like this torch song.
Jessica Rabbit.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. I love it when they do stuff like that. They've done so many. I mean, it's weird hearing, like a dance or an EDM song done as doo-wop or, hard rock done as this 50s rockabilly thing. Scott comes up with some amazing arrangements. And if you are in the mood for something different, to check them out, there's some of them, I got to admit, that drive me up the wall because I either don't like the song, no matter what style it is, or they've taken a song I really like and put it in the style, and I'm going like, WTF? Okay. It's still fun, though, and the talent they all show, the group that is Postmodern Jukebox that surrounds Scott Bradley, they're all terrific. Number 7, Scott Bradley and Postmodern Jukebox.
Okay.
Check out their channels on YouTube.
Number 6 on my list is, it's the whole channel, because they have some really interesting guys on there, and they've got all, great opinions, but I do want to single out one person, because I think he's really nice. My number 6 is the fellas over at What Culture Wrestling, specifically Simon Miller. Simon does a lot of the up-down segments where they'll look at the most recent episode of Raw or a pay-per-view or something like that and give thumbs up or thumbs down to specific incidents. His thumb must really be hurting going down on Raw lately because, crying out.
Was he one of the 2 we saw in the video yesterday?
No.
Okay.
I just like, it's very strange sometimes when you think about the fact that Americans, unfortunately, tend to think that wrestling is just ours. And wrestling that goes on in America is ours. And we shouldn't, and that's not right, especially now because, internet, cable, and everything, and it's all out there for everybody who can get it. So it's very interesting to hear what someone from Great Britain or wherever else that's not America, their opinions on, American pro wrestling. I just think Simon's very eloquent. I think that he has a good sense of humor. I think that he just comes off as a very personable guy. And I think he has a lovely smile. There, I said it. Fine, I'm shallow. My number 6, What Culture Wrestling, and specifically calling out Simon Miller.
All right, good. My number 6 is a guy I first saw on television, and the television appearances led me to his YouTube channel, and I have been addicted to it ever since. He was the first person from America's Got Talent to be named to our Rising Stars honors back in 2016, and he is just a funny dude. My number 6 is comedian Drew Lynch. He does several different styles of stuff. For those of you who aren't familiar with Drew had an accident when he was 19 and was hit face first with a baseball and then slept on it without going to the hospital. Ended up affecting his speech and motor skills, and he has a severe stutter now because of that. Although it has gotten better with therapy over the years, he's still there, and it's obviously, it has problems with it. So one day, one of the California geniuses out there decided he needed a service dog. Now, he's perfectly fine without it, but his service dog is a Vishlu named Stella, and they do a hilarious show called Dog Vlog. And it's basically Drew sitting there talking and Stella reacting with word bubbles, and it's hilarious. We've seen some of the stuff we've seen. Kim's laughed herself sick at some of them. I have too. Drew also posts regularly bits of his stand-up as he goes around the country and doing his little thing. And more recently, he's been doing these like kind of acting type things where he's acting out something that somebody brought up at a show or whatever. And he also, and this is proof that this does not always affect it, he's a beautiful singer. He has a number of videos up where he's singing, and the stutter is nowhere there. You can't hear it at all.
Right.
That happens a lot of times with people who have this motor skill issue. I mean, when you think about it, we've seen that in a number of... Mel Tillis was the best known.
Yeah.
Beautiful singer, but he couldn't talk without stuttering, and Drew's the same way. He's killingly funny. He is ruthless in some of his comedy routines. And he and Stella are just so cute together. There's one from a couple years ago where they were on tour and Stella was upset that she couldn't sleep in the bed with him. He decided that he was going to sleep in the bed, king-size bed by himself, and made Stella stay on the couch, and she howled and grunted all night long. And Drew was videotaping the whole thing on his phone. It was hilarious. They're all great, and he is funny as hell. Number 6, comedian Drew Lynch. Check out his YouTube channel.
Okay. Number 5 is also a wrestling-oriented entry into my list. It's my number 5 is the site Wrestling with Regret, which is hosted by Brian Zane. And Brian is looking mostly on his show. I mean, he does do reviews of Raw and SmackDown. He calls it Who Wore It Better, of like comparing the shows and, recent pay-per-views and things like that. But he also looks at points in wrestling where, let's be honest, we've all had them. Those moments where you as a wrestling fan completely and utterly deny you are a wrestling fan.
Now, remember, and make this clear to people, Brian is an active wrestling manager.
Yes.
He is in the business.
Yes, he is. And he's very good at being irritating.
And he's funny as hell.
As a wrestling manager, I should say. I had to add that little addendum on there. Because he is a heel manager.
His aspiration, obviously, is Jim Cornette. Which
obviously.
you can see it everywhere. It's
well, he looks like he could be Cornette's son,
Yeah, I suppose.
Although the idea of Cornette spawning is enough to make some people wake up in a cold sweat. Notice I didn't say me. Notice I did not say me. That's called CYA, children. But Brian looks at moments in wrestling where bad pay-per-views, terrible gimmicks, people who manage to completely sink their career with one bad promo. Moments where the music just didn't work for wrestlers with, certain themes. And he just looks at it all with this kind of wry, I can't believe they actually did this, and yet we still love this sport, Dr. Evil quotes, way of looking at things. And I just think that he's terrific.
Dr. Evil quotes that's going to be too pro wrestling for Vince. Want to know what I'm talking about? Check out our new Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah. And yes, we are going to kick that hornet's nest as much as we possibly can. Deal. Yay, First Amendment.
I'm not even into it that much anymore.
So my number 5, Wrestling with Regret. And its host, Brian Zane.
Yeah, Brian's awesome. He's funny as hell. My number 5 is perhaps, I think it would be fair to call him the original internet superstar. Because the internet just really took off in this way where personalities started to evolve around 2005, 2006, and it's evolved since then. But his channel has been one of the biggest channels on YouTube in its history since about 2006, I think, 2007. He's a lot older than you think he is because, well, he's a cat. You can't really say much about it. Mm-hmm. My number 5, Maru. From Mogu on YouTube. Maru is what did we decide? He's not a Scottish fold.
No, he's not a Scottish fold.
If you don't know who Maru is, please climb out from underneath the rock. You've been living none for the past
Really?
decade.
I don't see, I can't see how there's
he's actually
anybody
been in TV commercials and stuff. Maru is from Japan. He lives with his mistress, who I assume is Mogu. Who is of late going off the deep end. And his obsession is boxes. He's obsessed with boxes. And there's this interloper in these videos too named Hannah. We're going to talk about her. I really think Maru is, I thought I'd get yelled at for that.
No, because I knew it was coming, so I figured, why bother?
Maru, lately, she's been doing some weird stuff with Maru. She's decided he turns into a liquid when he climbs into a plastic box. And she keeps doing these measurement videos, and she keeps doing these like stunt trick videos with Maru and Hannah. I'm like, what are you doing? Like there was 11 minutes of Maru, what do they call that? Kneading?
Kneading, yeah.
And she was trying to convince everybody he was kneading udon and making udon. Mm-hmm. It's a pillow. Get over it. I mean, I don't know what's going on with her lately and some of the weird stuff she's been doing. But Maru is adorable. Hannah can be a bitch, but she's also adorable, I suppose. She's very pretty. And it's fun to watch them. I would actually go back to the old stuff, like 5-6 years ago, because they had the whole running up the stairs thing when Hannah first came, which was hilarious. I love that video. Mm-hmm. I've watched it over and over and over again. Maru gets on the swing for the first time, which is Garfield Fall Down Funny. Yep. And a few other things. I just love Maru. He's awesome. I don't know that I would ever be able to take care of Maru the way that she does. She does a great job taking care of him. Although both he and Hannah are a little stout and could use a little less food from now and again. But because I worry about their house. Maru's got to be getting close to 11 or 12 at this point. And Hannah's much younger. But Maru is the true star of the channel. So forget Hannah. My number 5, Maru, the star of Mugu Mogu on YouTube. Okay.
The next 3 people that I'm going to bring up, they're all going to have something in common, so just get used to hearing it. God. My number the 4 slot on my list goes to a gentleman he has a YouTube channel. He goes by Doll ASMR. ASMR videos and roleplay videos are something that I've been getting into recently.
No kidding.
Well, I have to find some way to do something with my acting skills because I can't seem to get.
Oh, I don't mean. I'm not talking about you. I mean how much you listen to them.
Yeah.
Not you doing them. She's actually gotten into doing them. If you haven't checked it out, Platinum Rose Roleplay on YouTube. Yeah.
And I just really enjoy listening to. First, this guy's stuff is really, really, really good. A lot of his stuff is taken from myths and legends of Europe, and he has a beautiful voice. And they're not always romantic or sweet or anything like that. Some of them are exceedingly dark. He also sometimes he'll do the whole thing that a lot of people do now online, which is playing a video game and chatting with people while they're playing the video game and stuff, which would be really fun for us to do if either of us played video games well.
Well, we've actually been talking about doing a Let's Play channel at some point, but we haven't gotten around to it. Anthony Lamberti is also working on that too from Comic Grotto, so it may happen eventually.
That and also the fact that certain people...
I'll have to talk to Anthony about that.
Anyway. That and certain people, when they play video games, can get a little bit sweary.
I don't get sweary. Unless I'm playing Monopoly, and I'm not going to play that on a Let's Play. Please.
Well, I'm just talking about setting up the game where you're just trying to figure out what goes where and all that stuff like that, and you're just like, mother beeping, damn it, beep, 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 beep. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm shocked. Shocked you would lose such language like that.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Tell me I'm wrong and be honest.
I can't do that.
Anyway, back to Doll. Like I said, a lot of his stuff is based in European mythology, and it's really good. I mean, I've learned a lot, and I really enjoy listening. Like I said, I enjoy his voice. So my number 4, Doll ASMR.
My number 4 is the only one on my list that's not a YouTube performer, and I got to be honest. I know I could find it if I looked hard enough, but I don't know his real name.
Okay.
I know who he portrays. And who he portrays, I have done a lot of studying of this particular person over the years. And just because I was fascinated by the way that he looked at the world. And this man has captured this gentleman to a T. I mean, everything from his obsession with baseball and football to his obsession with politics to his obsession with the news of the day. And he does it in a way that is just brilliant. And I'm sorry, he never seems to answer my tweets because I'm usually smarting off to him about something he said. But it's
You're smarting off at somebody online? Shut up.
I don't do it that often.
No,
I really don't.
No, you don't. But when there's politics involved and you can get a dig in there.
I do it. No, I don't. It's not because I'm getting a dig. It's usually because he's made a comment on the news and I just zing him for whatever happened that he brought that up.
Yeah.
The gentleman
because he's really smart like that.
Goes by the name Dick_Nixon on Twitter. He is portraying the 35th president of the United States, 36th.
Either that or they get the internet in hell. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah. Please. Really? He has captured the essence of Richard Nixon, the man. I've read a number of biographies. I've read a number of his books over the years, and along with others, because I'm just a politics person. I don't want to say that I'm definitely a huge supporter of him, but I find him the most fascinating politician for all of his quirks and everything that he did right and everything he did wrong. And he captures it to a T. Of course, he also hides behind this channel. He also does a show on, not a show, but he does a weekly column for those of us like me who back him on Patreon, under the Nixon Papers is called. And it's a very interesting column, usually a mix of Nixon and his own sensibility, because I know the man that portrays him is actually a moderate Democrat in real sense, because he's been honest about that, and mixes that sensibility into views on world views today. And it's fascinating. I really enjoy reading his stuff. I enjoy reading his tweets. And I always get a kick out of when somebody comments on something he doesn't want to comment, or he thinks Nixon wouldn't comment on, he comments it, and then at the end, you see a little dash with the RZ at the end. RZ stands for Ron Ziegler, who was President Nixon's press secretary. He's an amazing writer, and he does have a book coming out in 2020, under his real name. I've forgotten what it is, and I'm so sorry, dude. But I enjoy his writing, and I really am entertained by his amazing ability to channel the late Richard Nixon. It's really something. I mean, he really does channel him.
Yeah.
Everything I've ever read about him. Number 4, Dick_Nixon on Twitter.
Yeah. Can I just say one little thing?
Sure.
And not sound like a bitch?
When I'm talking to Kim about him, I usually refer to him as Mr. President, because that's what he always liked. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Just this is my own take on things, and goodness knows I don't know anything about politics, but and I keep it that way.
She does.
But if anyone was to ask my opinion, which I note they're not.
Thank you, Gimli. You didn't do it in the voice. You need to do the voice.
No. Not right now.
She can. Anyway.
Just Richard Nixon, if Richard Nixon was still alive today, would never, ever, 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 ever tack 25 more evers on there, go anywhere near the internet. Ever.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
Ever. The man was the classic definition of paranoid.
Although he did do stuff for CompuServe after resigning from the presidency. So it's possible that he might have done a news column or something, but he would not be on Twitter.
He would not be. He would not be anywhere where he would have to deal with the public. That would not be happening.
He didn't have that much trouble with public overall in the long run. Anyway,
moving on.
Yep.
Number 3 on my list is another role play actor who I love his stuff. I absolutely adore it, even though he creeps me right the hell out sometimes. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. Bless your heart. My number... Am I getting really predictable?
Honey, you've been predictable to me for 20 plus years.
Oh,
going on 30. So let's be honest here.
Because you're the only one that'll put up with me. My number 3 is a gentleman that goes by the name Johnny Static on YouTube. And his work is... I really shouldn't say that he scares the hell out of me all the time, because he doesn't. Because there have been a few of his works that have actually made me cry. Because they were just so sweet and beautiful and real. The way that he's done things, like somebody dealing with a lover that has, depression issues and things like that, and trying to be there for them and be kind and supportive. And I'm listening to this and I'm like, dude, do you realize you might save somebody's life with this? I mean, I'm really seriously not trying to be melodramatic right now, but he could literally be saving somebody if they listen to this and they realize, wow, somebody out there, is just really putting these nice words in my head, and that's drowning out all the bad stuff, telling me how useless I am and stuff like that. And like I said, he has this amazing way of going from these really sweet videos to these videos where, like, well, I'm just going to go off and curl up in the corner and rock for a little while because that just horrified me, which is done on purpose. He's done a couple recently that are, they're based on creepypastas, stuff with Slender Man and another character, and and I actually listened to that. So
she hates that character.
She does. She really does. So the fact that Johnny got me to actually listen to this, I was like, well, that's a testament to you,
Why
bud.
you've had nightmares the last few weeks. Okay.
No, it's not his fault. It's the fact that I just have, my mind goes off in different places and stuff. He's really, really fantastic. So my number 3, Johnny Static.
My number 3 is the second of 3 people from America's Got Talent that made our Rising Stars honors over the years. Him in 2017? I'm trying to remember which year. He's a brilliant young dancer who's not even nowhere near 20 yet, and he's already got a really huge following on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. My number 3 is Merrick Hanna. I fell in love with Merrick when he was on AGT. The first thing I ever saw him do was this rope. He's a pop lock specialist in dancing. He was 12 or 13, just turned 13 when he was on AGT. And he was 11, just turned 12, I think. And he was doing a routine to I Built a Friend by Alec Benjamin. I found Alec Benjamin because of Merrick. And I love his amazing ability to turn anything into a dance. He has a show on YouTube, which is promoted by Fox Family Channel, called oh, that's terrible. I didn't write down the name of the channel, but I'll have it in the notes. I think it's called Dance Squad. I'm not sure, but it's him getting together with other groups doing a particular short dance that has been inspired by a movie or TV show every week. And it is really a lot of fun to watch. He also puts up his own stuff where he's dancing with other people, where he's got one that was dancing through the years, which shows him doing the same dance from the age of 8 to the age of 12.
Yeah.
All in the same place in the little place.
Just wonderful.
He's great.
He
And
really
I mean,
is.
he's an amazing kid. And if he threw a little ballroom in there, he might become a Dancing with the Stars pro down the line before too long, because he's really terrific. And I'm glad to see him take off so well. He only made it to the only made it to the semifinals on AGT, and I was so pissed because I really wanted him to get all the way through. I wanted him to win so bad that year. Although Grace was on that year too, wasn't she? Or was that year after?
I think that was the year after.
Okay. And it was the year after Grace. Right? Yeah. It was when he was on. So that means Drew was on in 2015. So I've got the years mixed up. But Merrick is great. And if you haven't seen him, look up his name, Merrick, Merrick, Hanna, Hanna, on YouTube or on internet, and you will pull up some of the most amazing dance videos you've ever seen. Number 3, Merrick Hanna.
Yep. He is really fantastic. My number 2, we talked about this person before when we did
I have a
our...
feeling our number 1's the same.
I have a feeling it is too.
Yeah.
We talked about this person when we were doing our list of, people to look for and stuff like that, or our Rising Stars list and stuff. I had to include them because they are they're a very dear person to me. They're very kind, and they've been very supportive of me, starting my little baby steps into, working on stuff online. He goes by Roleplay Riot, and that's what I'm going to use. Oh my gosh, his stuff was some of the first stuff I'd actually seen. He does ASMR videos, but he also does just straight roleplay stuff. And oh my gosh, the stuff that he has done, it's gone freaking everywhere. It's, DC comics, Marvel comics, all kinds of movies, folklore stuff, and just some really amazing work. And he's really fantastic. He does accents like you wouldn't believe, and he's a really fine actor. I want to say that straight up and from my heart. He is a really good actor, and I've spoken to him several times, and
They've kind of become friends online.
yeah, and he's been super encouraging, and he's just really nice. And like I said, he's so talented. One of the videos that he did that I really, really loved was his take on Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow, one of Batman's villains, and It was so good. It was just fantastic. I won't give away the punchline of the whole video where the Dr. Crane has captured this person, is using them as a guinea pig in his experiments and stuff like that. And I could kind of see where it was going. And then when I saw where it was going, you couldn't get the grin off my face with sandblasting, because I was just like, this is going to be amazing. He's really, really talented. Definitely check him out. Check out all the people that we're talking about. You really should. Number 2, Roleplay Riot.
My number 2 is the only one she's mentioned before, and I mean, you're like, number 9, really?
All right.
Number 2 on my list are the guys from List 25, Mike, last name Estrin, and Tristan, last name Frower. They are an unbeatable team, although Tristan's not been on a lot lately because they recently decided to move. They were doing stuff at one of the local colleges, and the colleges needed the space, so they gave up the space and are now doing stuff out of Mike's house, I think. Mm-hmm. But Tristan hasn't been in all of them. But Tristan and Mike are a great team. They're very funny. They're obviously best friends. And they each have their own channel too. Mike Estrin and Tristan Frower. You can look up their names. They have their own chats with other friends. They are really funny, and they are terrific together, because Mike just needles Tristan to some merciless end, I swear. And they just are really funny together. They're also both Harry Potter fanatics, and they've done 3 or 4 of these extended wizard battles, acted out wizard battles, that usually pop up around this time of year. Tristan has not been on the show for about 3 weeks, which makes me think they're going to be doing another wizard battle for Halloween. They've been doing them for Halloween for the last 4 years, and it's they've been out there, ludicrous, hilarious. Tristan's actually left the show a couple of times and then come back. There are other people at List 25. Juan was there. He actually left a few months ago. Juan had appeared as one of the original narrators of the show before they hired Mike, and also appeared on camera occasionally in contests where Mike would give them a riddle or something, and Tristan and Juan would have to try and figure it out. Mike and Tristan just make a great combination, and they're funny as hell. And I do feel sorry for Tristan, because he gets dumped on by Mike. Mike is so good at it, like you and me. You're so good at it with me. And I'm like, oh man. I'd like to think that we would all be friends if we met and have fun together.
Yeah.
Number 2, Mike Estrin and Tristan Frower, the hosts of List 25 on YouTube.
Okay. So we might as well get this out of the way, since you haven't mentioned them and I haven't mentioned them, and that's it.
Non-human?
Huh?
Non-human?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them is identifiable as non-human. The other one is identifiable as something. He's red. I don't really... He's red and furry, so that's a Weasley. But other than that, I don't really,
Don't insult the Weasleys like that.
Fair enough. We might as well just say it together.
Number 1?
Yep, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Glove and Boots.
Mario and Fafa.
Mario and Fafa from Glove and Boots. Yep. Mario and Fafa are the hosts, or perpetrators, depending on your point of view, of Glove and Boots, which is a channel that's been around for quite a bit.
They took a whole year off
Yes.
after YouTube screwed them over with their new metrics.
Yes, and that
then
sucked,
came
and we
back
were miserable.
earlier this year with brand new stuff that is
Yeah.
just side-splittingly funny
Yep.
again.
They're-
we missed them.
They're
This is the
puppets.
7th season.
They're puppets.
Yeah.
Or,
Fafa is a groundhog and Mario is a monster.
Mario is a Mario.
Well, we're calling Mario a monster.
Yeah.
So,
Well, no, I'm thinking, what would be the correct term would be what? Felt Americans?
don't Greg the Bunny crap all over this, okay?
All right, sorry. And they've had other guest puppets on there, including Johnny T. And
Johnny T rocks, man. Love Johnny T. He's Fafa's cousin.
He's from New York.
He still rocks. He's good.
Sorry, it's this whole New York Boston
Yeah.
thing. And I know everybody in the Boston area goes, just went, did she just call the Sox Yankees rivalry a thing? It's like,
By the way, just so you know,
yeah. What?
Changing shows, you'll get it if you listen to her wrestling show. Sacramento and Los Angeles are nowhere near each other.
Oh, okay. Well, they're both in California, so whatever.
Sacramento, Los Angeles.
Fine, they're both in California. At least I got the friggin' state right, okay?
You did.
I mean, that's a frickin' achievement for me.
I know.
Hey. Anyway, they have all kinds of crazy videos where they do all kinds of insane things. I wish they would bring back one segment, though, that they haven't done for a while.
Mario's Word of the Week.
I loved Mario's Word of the Week. I absolutely loved Mario's Word of the Week, because where else was I going to get defense
last season
straight,
they did, before they took a year off, they did a whole season of Mario's Word of the Week. And, I mean, every Tuesday we would be sitting there completely convulsing on the floor.
Yeah.
Because it was just like amazing. We got another, what was the word we got on our Lalokezia?
Lalokezia,
Using vulgar language to relieve pain or stress.
Yes.
We have, everybody at work has this picture of these two puppets with that word on the top of the screen.
Yes.
Stuck to their cubicles because of me!
Yeah. And it works.
It does.
And it's also an excuse to say I can't say that word. I forgot we're not doing my show. So if you want to hear that word, you can come over to my shows and listen to me swear a lot.
Yeah.
But they are so funny.
I gotta be honest. For me, I've always loved the song parodies they do. Mm-hmm. They have a hilarious one to Blurred Lines, which is just like fall on the floor hilarious.
Yeah.
Which is about the legal case that went on. But my favorite thing that they did outside of the regular, just the regular sketches they do, was Glove and Boots Gaming. They only had, it was a separate channel. It was only up for a year. And the thing about the two men, I'm sorry, I could not find their names. I looked everywhere. The two men that are responsible for, working, Mario and Fafa, play video games, and one of them would play and the other one would comment in character. And sometimes, because of the green screen, usually Fafa was playing and Mario was on screen.
Yeah.
They took them all down. And I'm like, oh God, please put these back up, because the farm simulator one is freaking hilarious. There's a two-parter. It's the only two-parter they did. And they're run about an hour and 15 minutes. But Farming Simulator 1...
You got a bigger kick out of that than I did.
You didn't see part one, did you?
I watched both of them.
Oh, I watched one of them in here, and then I showed it to you.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. The other one was the Roller Coaster Maker. I forgot what the name of it was. But it was, I mean, just watching them play these games and their commenting, because they did not take it seriously. No. They're playing this game most of the time for the first time when they do it, and are trying it out with everybody else, and the results were comedy gold.
Yeah.
I can't believe they stopped doing it. I loved the gaming channel. Mm-hmm. The only gaming channel I ever watched.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So that's my number one, and that's your number one.
It is, and I hope that you guys will check out Glove and Boots over on YouTube, because it's Mario and Fafa and Gorilla and Thor and Guy Smiley Clone and
Oh, was Thor on that? I forgot.
Oh yeah. And others who have done
occasionally I can lie well. That wasn't one of those times.
They're all, and they do actually, if you're interested now that the season is here, there is a Glove and Boots Christmas album that's available, and you can listen to it on Spotify. It's Gorilla's versions of Christmas carols, and it's freaking hilarious. It's not as funny as Lucas Cruikshank's Fred's Christmas album, but it's great. You never listened to it, so you don't know. There you go.
Well, I didn't say anything. I didn't say one single. I get in trouble when I talk. I get in trouble when I don't talk.
I can see your disdain in your eyes.
You proved to me you can spell disdain. And
Disdain. What's your problem?
Fine. Okay.
What's your top 10 again?
My top 10 honorable mention to KJ and Jeff from Great Wrestling Radio. Number 10, Screen Team. Number 9, List 25. Number 8, Dark Corners. Number 7, Rogue Fan KC. Number 6, What Culture Wrestling. Number 5, Wrestling with Regret. Number 4, Doll ASMR. Number 3, Johnny Static. Number 2, Roleplay Riot. And number 1, Glove and Boots.
We did it completely differently. So
yeah, we did.
Number 10, Hank and John Green. Number 9, Lord Venhetario. Number 8, Jay Barrett. Number 7, Scott Bradley and Postmodern Jukebox. Number 6, Drew Lynch. Number 5, Maru. Number 4, Dick_Nixon. Number 3, Merrick Hanna. Number 2, Mike Estrin and Tristan Frower. And number 1, Mario and Fafa from Glove and Boots. Mm-hmm. These are the people that we enjoy watching all the time.
And we definitely think
and I
you
like
should
quite a
check
few
them
of
out.
hers, and she likes quite a few of mine.
Yeah, we should, and you should definitely check out all of them, and hopefully we will have links up. Because
we'll have some links up this weekend. I don't want to do it until you had a chance to listen to it before we put the links up. So. Right. But I will put them up. Mm-hmm. So, we have all kinds of other shows we hope you'll check out throughout the week. This last couple of weeks we've been a little bit lax from here and there because we do have something going on with a family member in the hospital and in and out, and it's been kind of crazy. But we are going to we're a week late, but we'll be back with the Subject Cinema Halloween stuff coming up this week on subjectcinema.com. And we also will have stuff up all the time on our websites, eCinemaOne and eCinemaBoston. Mm-hmm. Platinum Rose's Garden returns Saturday with brand new episodes because Supernatural is 20 minutes away from premiering as we're recording this.
Yes, it is.
Season's premiere.
Nervous? Who's nervous? I'm just going to go get this bottle of gin. I'll be fine. Yes, Supernatural.
You don't have any gin. You have Midori.
Yes. I do have Midori. Oh, yes, I do.
Oh.
Why don't I keep my big mouth shut? Thanks for reminding me. Yes, Supernatural is coming back for its final season, season 15. Suck it, haters.
Nothing to be ashamed of at all. It's the longest running sci-fi show in American history.
Yep, and suck it, haters. And
although it's not really sci-fi though. It's more
horror than sci-fi.
But it's fantasy horror, sci-fi. It all fits in.
Yeah.
It's still the longest running one.
And the first episode of season 15, Back into the Future, is premiering tonight. So I will have a show this weekend. And also I have another podcast, my wrestling podcast, which is Ring Around the Rosie.
She is in rare form this week on Ring Around the Rosie. I edit that show, so I know she is in rare form with her critique, rightfully so critique, of the 2019 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Yes, which could be compared to what happens when Godzilla hits downtown Tokyo.
It's one of the funniest shows she's done. It's really funny.
And you have some solo work as well, including...
I have 3 Minute Weekend and Tuesday Digidex, which run down each week's releases on video and movies. Weekend is on Friday and Digidex on Tuesday, obviously. And they have home video and theaters. Catastrophe Vortex is coming back. It was supposed to be back last week. It'll be back soon. I swear. I got to get this off the ground. We have 3 new shows on Patreon. Kaiju Corner is up for Patreon supporters, $10 and over, $5 and over. And the other 2 are coming along this month sometime. Freeze Frame, which you got a free preview of a couple weeks ago on Subject Cinema, and our review show. So be watching for those. And please, if you like what you're listening to, like us, share us, subscribe us, and become a patron at patreon.com/PNRNetworks. It supports all of our programs, not just the ones we do, but also the ones done by our friends Eric Lyon and Valerie Lyon, which is Cavebabble at cavebabble.com, and Anthony Lamberti and his show, Comic Grotto at Aunt B's, Nerd Grotto at Aunt B's Nerd Grotto on YouTube, and comicgrotto.com. And also, would give us a lot of help for doing more than we can afford to do now. We want to do so much more for you. So please, become a patron at patreon.com/PNRNetworks.
And if you're of a dramatic frame of mind, you can listen to our dramatic works. We've got a couple of them up on the internet, including Manhattan Hammerdown As It Happened.
Which is our 10th anniversary story of what happened in New York the night Clover came to town. It's the news coverage and the stuff that was going on during the Cloverfield movie. And 2018 version of War of the Worlds with our tribute to the ones that have come before, from Orson Welles and the Buffalo WKBW and a few other ones. And coming up, I hope, I'm not done with the script yet, and we've got to get it done by this weekend, our 3rd original production, Athena Breakdown, scheduled to be the first official episode of Imagination Theater, and it should be up on Halloween if all goes well. Maybe later, but we'll see.
And we did mention that I do have another channel as well, Platinum Rose Roleplay. It's only got 1 video on it so far, but if you want to check it out,
trust me, it's really good. And she did a great job with it. And hopefully, will become a new thing for her.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
It is that.
Yeah.
And don't forget to drop us your line with your ideas for lists so you can win a prize and get your name on the internet and all over the interwebs through our website and the show. And you can do that at Front Row at PNRNetworks or Subject Cinema at PNRNetworks.
Yep. And you can also follow me at PlatinumRoseLady at Twitter.com.
And I am at I'm at eCinemaOne and eCinemaBoston on Twitter.
And I think that's it.
And
for
Popcorn
real.
and Roses is our Facebook page.
So this is Kim Brown.
And I'm T.C. Kirkham.
And we hope we can count on you to come back next week and help us count up another list here on Front Row 5 and 10.
Count on it, people.
Bye.
You've been listening to Front Row 5 and 10 with Kim Brown and T.C. Kirkham.
Podcasting's choice. From coast to coast, continent to continent, right here 24/7.